Hello everyone, welcome back to GD's playthrough of Tales of Arise. We're learning about Alphen's memories on the beach of 4th zone, or the 5th zone, the last board zone. They took Shionne and we're about to go find her. I'm not going to be
Are you
talking,
able to
let's
tell
go.
us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegis.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dahna. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Dahnan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the blazing sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the spirit channeling ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Shionne. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Shionne said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Shionne I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renan maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Shionne? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imeris.
Imeris? As in Shionne Imeris?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori.
The mask?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis?
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the crown contest, to a time before even the first Renan invasion of Dahna. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphins, honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen. What you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shionne?
I'm worried about Shionne too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us.
Thank you.
It's fine.
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shionne's rescue? What do the others think?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Dahnan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan sovereign? More to the point, why choose a Dahnan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden. A figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was...
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost. But I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shionne needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dahna and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Dahnans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after... she stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left...
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can, be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting. To strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, It's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for.
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Shionne and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, it's strange. When I think about Lenegus, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no... I'd never have met up with you guys.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Shionne, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah, all this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Shionne were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her? Poor Shionne must be lonely.
Yeah, you're right.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shionne or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kinda my forte.
Come on, man, snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shionne.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shionne?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shionne's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this...
Law.
What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this... Not this... No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shionne or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen,
Alphen.
it's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shionne, but there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
Alphen! There you are! Zoogles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go. Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Alphen, right!
Look! Sharp, people! If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Remember, if the paint's too much.
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come! We can't let even a single one through!
There's a firm no-zoogle policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
In here!
Bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
Darkest far beyond the darkest sky!
Can't get out of
I call
this!
upon thee!
Just getting started.
Not today!
Beckoned into everlasting strength. Negative Jake.
Here's another
I'm
one.
ready.
This one's
Its armor's too strong.
Then I'll split it open.
Be my guest.
Freeze them!
The enemy wields art too.
You'll soon see about that! Freeze Lancer!
I'm ready.
Malevolent!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Resonate with the earth.
Far beyond the darkest skies!
Stalagmite.
I call upon thee!
Bathed in blood. Rending bloody howling.
Hurricane shooting star!
I'm gone! One more!
Anything in
Here's
armor is
another-
all. Do it! It was not.
Alphen!
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, this limb kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs, though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh?
Yeah, I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers. It comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me. And left me with nothing but guilt. I was complete, but not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Shionne comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Shionne. Then we defeat Volron and liberate Dahna. Everyone.
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objection.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Okay.
Why?
Damn it.
What?
Is that so?
Okay.
Great job.
I'll teach these small fry who's the apex predator of these waters. Just watch and see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves now.
I guess we're having fish for dinner tonight.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Have you guys... checked your... equipment lately?
I'd like to... check their wares, if you don't mind.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to...
Easy peasy. Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
By the way... Wait.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship. We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be...
I think stranger things have happened, whether he's alive or otherwise. We've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine. Thistleim was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords. But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time.
I suppose that makes sense.
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly.
Of course, a little...
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon.
I think Hoodle senses an owl around here. Illuminate the dark!
Piss on!
Armor won't save you! Going in!
Holy land!
No further!
It fires a passion, courses in the way! Sharpness!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Holy land! Purge malevolence!
I'm ready!
Law!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer! Sealed! Divine savior!
Deny! Make it rain!
Dohalim! Hey! Blow them away!
Everyone still in one piece?
Yep. I barely worked up a sweat.
There it is. That's our target. Out of my way!
Malevolence! Arctic waterfall! Here!
Hurricane strike!
Negative J! Resonate with the earth!
Are those arms even natural?
Smash you! Rending you apart! First strike! I'm just getting today! Damn it! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer! Holy land!
Negative J!
One left! Purge malevolence!
Hurricane
Arctic waterfall!
it! Inferno Punch! It's time! Hurricane Strike! No further!
Far beyond the darkest sky, I call upon thee!
Immediate discharge! Lost my focus! Talon Storm!
Shooting star!
Catapult! Shine will roll on! Force of regeneration!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Man, this place is thick with foliage.
I know. It feels like we're going to be swallowed up by all these plants if we stay in here.
Indeed. I much prefer the forests in Menancia myself.
Not that I don't agree, but maybe now's not the best time for Elda Menancia pride.
Illuminate the
Shine!
dark!
Radiant light! No regeneration!
Holy land!
Anything in the shop! Take this!
If they wreck you gotta jump for cover, okay?
These fists have got your name on them! Denied!
In here!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Shine!
Here! Purge malevolence! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer, holy land!
Inferno punch! Look shot!
Celestial hammer!
Take power! Inferno punch! Dance on the wind! Shot one's mine! Reflect on thy sin!
Freeze lancer!
Tiger blade! Make it red!
Execution! Demon's descent! Flashing fang!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Ho ho! Ho ho ho!
You're saying we should check the owl forest?
Is that the Zoogle we're looking for?
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Waterfall!
Elusive deity. Watch
Purge
this.
malevolence! Archaic waterfall!
Blood, simian pest.
I shall seal you where you stand. Resonate with the earth.
Fire this passion! Force in this
Inferno
flame!
punch.
Sharpness! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy
Resonate with the
glimmer,
earth.
holy land!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me.
Here goes! Not on my watch!
Do it. One more. Not today. Do it. Dohalim. Say, blow them away.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer, holy land! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer, holy land!
Now I'm through.
Fire the passion, course in this flame!
Make it rain. Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Onward and upward.
Fight if you know what's good for you.
Armor won't save you!
Holy land!
This one's mine!
In a bind?
They may look cute and stuff, but they're vicious! Far beyond the darkest sky, I call upon thee!
This one's mine! Leave the chargers to me!
Shooting star!
Not today!
Here goes! Not in your dreams! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Air thrust! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! One more! Celestial hammer!
On guard! Hurricane flight! Swallow dance!
Take that!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Do it! Purge malevolence! Arctic
I'm on it!
waterfall!
Elusive
Freeze
deity!
lancer!
Swallow dance! Already
Here now!
Power. Dispel.
Dragon
Here
shell!
goes!
Shine.
One
Radiant
last one!
light.
Going in!
Regeneration.
Regenerate! Go get
There
him!
you
Bullseye!
Don't suffer in silence. My exploits are bearing fruit.
Little help!
Prepare to be seized.
This one's mine!
Sleep now!
Shine. Radiant light.
Sharpness all!
In a bind.
I'm ready!
Purge malevolence!
Shine.
Arctic
Radiant
waterfall!
light.
Freeze lancer!
Regeneration. Regenerate.
Here goes! One more! Bullseye! Illuminate the dark!
from the ground.
Come forth! Holy glimmer! Holy land!
Radiant
Living
light.
dreams!
Force of regeneration.
Purge malevolence! Arctic
I'll stop its
waterfall!
charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
I really owe you one.
Far beyond the darkest sky, I call upon thee!
Elusive deity! Now you see what I can do!
Hurricane flight!
Shooting star!
This one's all mine.
Negative gate!
Reflect on that
Hurricane!
Do it! Smite with blackened blade!
Law!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! I'm practically unstoppable.
Passion course in this flame!
Not today!
In here!
This one's mine! Damn! Your arm!
Electric shock! Celestial hammer!
First strike!
Lower that gear right!
That's
On guard!
I really owe you.
Sleep now!
Shine. Radiant light.
More where that came from!
Ready to
Fall
go!
into thy
You're being interrupted.
Denied!
Elusive
Purge
deity!
malevolence! Arctic waterfall!
Shine. Radiant light.
Fires of passion course in this flame! Sharpness! Fires
In a
of
bind.
passion course in this flame! Fall into thine own depths!
Make it rain!
Concentrate this! Fall into...
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Dance in the wind! Ready! Air thrust! Dance in
This one's mine!
Now I'm in the groove!
the...
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Crumble! Now you see what I can do!
Not in your dreams!
Catapult.
Celestial hammer!
Look sharp!
Ha!
Take this!
I feel the power flowing through me.
You'll be able to help even more people now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I will.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
You make sure to rest. Good food.
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
You're still.
I've always been something of a night owl. Turning in for the night only made the next day come quicker. What about yourself? You were part of a mage clan, right? Must have been handy being able to rely on magic for everything.
Hardly. Magic's not so special when you're not allowed to use it. Always scared of who might be watching?
Right. Sorry.
We were still made to study it every day. It doesn't make any sense if you think about it, studying the very thing you're being persecuted for, but that's what we did. Just like our parents and their parents before them.
If memory serves, mages have been the stuff of legend for ages. Even as far back as 3 centuries ago, they were myths. Your people were persecuted even before the Renans got here.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the less it makes sense though. I mean, it was astral arts that let the Renans dominate Dahna. Why did
Maybe they tried, but they just didn't have the numbers. Or maybe domination just wasn't something they were interested in. Have you ever considered it might have been something like...
I guess I haven't.
I wonder why magic alone attracted the attention it did. Swords can be just as lethal in the right hands. Why not ban them?
My best guess? Swordsmanship can be learned by anyone. Magic's more of an exclusive club.
So, you either have... When something's not easily obtainable, it's hard to comprehend. So the problem...
Yeah. Night, everyone.
Alright guys, we'll call it there. I'm going to be doing some exploring in between the next episode, and we'll just see what happens.